Certainly, World Health and a number of other organizations are really grappling with how do we cover the countries that aren't producing the vaccine, that don't have the income right now to actually pay for the vaccine, and certainly how are we going to have a supply of both vaccine and antivirals for all of these people in developing countries. So I think that improving vaccine access for people that are in poorer countries is really an issue, and the United States is helping a little bit with this, although I think we're going to certainly hear more about this.
Moving on. Folks, everyone knows Indra Nooyi. She is the CEO of PepsiCo. She has recently been chosen as a #1 CEO among women CEOs, and there are 13 of them, that she's the best, who has done wonderful things for Pepsi. In fact, she has brought them in the branding business from 26 to 23. Ironically, Coca-Cola, her chief rival, their brand is #1, even above IBM or Microsoft, which is #3. But she has done remarkable in the sense of bringing sales to PepsiCo. She's gone to Russia, China, India. That's where she says the growth of PepsiCo lies. And that's why she went into the vitamin water business in Russia. There are other products that she's coming up with. The woman is a dynamo. She's traveling as much as 200 days a year.
I completely agree that Indra Nooyi is certainly a woman to watch, and for a lot of Indian women, certainly a role model. We also know that Indra Nooyi has really been able to take this business, which has actually not done so well here. The Coca-Cola and Pepsi and other soft drinks are not doing as well in the United States for a variety of reasons, but we know internationally, particularly in China and India, as you mentioned, they're doing quite well. So she's really savvy, and I certainly think she's going to take it even higher, and I think Coca-Cola needs to watch out. It may not be #1 for so long. So folks, these are difficult economic times. How do you turn your trash into money? Well, that's easy with a new company called Recycle Bank. It's a company which is trying to actually make recycling trash an attractive alternative. And basically it was founded by a Columbia Business School graduate, and participants get a computer chip embedded into their recycling container, and on a regular basis the amount they recycle is actually weighed, and they're rewarded through points to a number, about 1,500 different stores, to include things like Target and Best Buy throughout the country. And people can receive up to $400 worth of points, again, to be redeemed at all of these different stores as a result of recycling their trash. I think that's a pretty smart incentive.
Yeah, I think incinerating business is really booming. I remember a few years ago somebody said, you know, every trash location should have an incinerator, and that should be where the energy should be made. In fact, all the plastics nowadays, you can actually take it to the trash, and they can put the plastic on the top, and the oil comes down below, and it's a better oil. You can fly planes with it, you know.
Right.
So, yeah, incineration business, the trash business is beautiful business.
You know, we in this country do a historically pretty bad job of recycling. If you go to Europe, for example, I think they do a much better job, and you go to any family there and they have several recycling bins, and I think you're kind of hard-pressed to find even one recycling bin in a lot of communities here. So again, this concept of giving people cash incentive, or in this case going to stores and redeeming it for points, I think makes a lot of sense. So look for recyclebank.org.
You know, farm fishing has come a long way. In 1970, there was only 1 ton of farm fishing. Today, around the globe, it's 30.9 million metric tons. That's how much fish is farmed. In other words, there are ponds, either freshwater or saltwater. That's where they grow fish. And that's the fish that you eat in the market. In fact, 62% of the world's farmed fish and shellfish is exported from China. Most of the farm fish that we eat is from China. We only grow 5%. 5% of farm fish is grown in America, though we consume 80% of the farm fish around the world. So the time has come for the government to actually look at it and say, hey, we need to stop farm fishing here. And farm fishing is one of those traditional jobs that you would think that the fishermen would be the ones that will take these jobs. Well, no. The fishermen like the wilds of the sea. They want their fish fresh from the waters. But the young people who work there in that industry are starting to do farm fishing. Folks, take a look at it. Make sure you get a lease from the government and go to these fresh waters or the salt waters and have your own farm right on the water. And you can really do a great job. This is a good business.
You know, I have a great idea for the Obamas. Now they have this organic garden. Maybe they now need to have a fish pond with farm fish. And maybe this will then increase the trend throughout this country.
That's right. And, you know, I may want to do that too myself at home. There won't be a lot of fish.
I think your wife may kill you.
It'll hurt me if you die, though.
In entertainment news, there's a lot of buzz about Mira Nair's upcoming movie called Amelia. The movie is about Amelia Earhart, who is an aviation pioneer, a feminist, and an author. Now, Amelia disappeared in 1937, and the government actually spent $4 million trying to search for her body. Now, this movie is creating a lot of buzz, particularly among those that are looking for Oscar nominations, because they think that they have a particularly noteworthy group of actors. It's Hilary Swank, Richard Gere, and Ewan McGregor, and Virginia Madsen, to name a few. Newspapers like the LA Times are already saying that Mira Nair may be up for a Best Director nomination, and Hilary Swank may be up for a Best Actor nomination. Now, we also know that along the time that this movie is going to be released, there's a book about Amelia Earhart that's also being released by an Indian author, and her name is Chandra Prasad. And the book is called On Borrowed Wings, and again, it's a biography about Amelia Earhart. So certainly the book and the movie, I think, are ones that you need to be looking out for.
By the way, the movie is all done. I saw the trailer.
Right, it's coming out in October 23rd.
Yeah, I saw the trailer. Fantastic. It was really beautiful. Looking forward